He's used it on Deadpool to make fun of Justin Baldoni.
Sorry about that. And I guess you're a Deadpool too. But in here, everybody calls me Nice Pool. I identify as a feminist. Why are you so nice? It costs nothing to be kind.
Shutting the fuck up is also free.
Caliente.
I'd be fighting alongside them, but my calling is to one day host a podcast that monetizes the women's movement.
Goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too, and can't even tell.
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
That's okay.
I identify as a feminist.
Right.
What I make of that is that if your wife is sexually harassed, you don't make fun of the situation. You take it very seriously.
Hey, cowboy, my eyes are up here. I know it's tempting. I look at it too sometimes.
Now, this was something that I was not expecting when it came to the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively situation. It seems there's a connection between It Ends With Us and all of the drama surrounding that and Deadpool and Wolverine, because of course there's a connection between the two. One starred Blake Lively and the other starred her husband, Ryan Reynolds. And if you watched my previous 2 videos regarding the lawsuits that have been filed so far, then you would know that Ryan Reynolds did play an active role in the rift between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. But there seems to be a Deadpool and Wolverine connection, and this has to do with the character of Nice Pool.
Sorry! Fuck!
If they could only process their childhood trauma, they'd go on one heck of a healing journey.
What would ever happen to me?
So if you don't know who the character of Nice Pool is and you've never seen Deadpool and Wolverine, basically the characters of Deadpool and Wolverine end up in a place called the Void. And Nice Pool is a variant of Deadpool, and there are a ton of variants of Deadpool in the Void, including a character called Lady Pool, and Lady Pool was played by Blake Lively. Now, Ryan Reynolds did play the character of Nice Pool, and Nice Pool is basically a self-identified male feminist who has long hair and wears his hair in a man bun. He doesn't wear a mask because his face is too precious, and he has 2 golden, pistoleros, I can't remember what he calls them, that Deadpool is eyeing to take away from him. Now, I did go see Deadpool and Wolverine multiple times, by the way, and at the time, I didn't think anything of the character of Nice Pool at the time, or really connect it to Justin Baldoni. It really was only after all of this stuff started to come out this past month and people started to piece things together, and then Justin Baldoni's lawyer going on Megyn Kelly and talking about how the character of Nice Pool has a lot of similarities to Justin Baldoni, almost as if Ryan Reynolds used the movie Deadpool and Wolverine to take a whole lot of jabs at Justin Baldoni.
There's no question it relates to Justin. The hair bun, the comment about the pregnancy. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's being done.
And I know that some people are like, oh my gosh, you guys are reaching. This is such a reach. But there are way too many similarities for it to just be a coincidence. For instance, when we meet the character of Nice Pool, already Deadpool does not like this character. Not only that, but he has 2 golden guns, and I can't remember the names of the guns right now, but he has 2 golden guns that Deadpool is eyeing and wants, almost as if those 2 guns represent It Ends With Us and its sequel.
Are those gold-plated 50 caliber Desert Eagle pistoleros?
Of course. To match my ear huggy. Can I have them? Over my dead body. You're fun.
And the character of Nice Pool says that you're going to have to take them off of my dead body. So it's almost like a challenge to Deadpool at the time.
Or if something should happen to you, I'd love to be her papa.
What would ever happen to me?
Lots of stuff.
There are also some things that Nice Pool says. For instance, he references the character of Lady Pool and says,
Oh my goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too, and can't even tell.
And then Deadpool says, I don't think you're supposed to say that. And Nice Pool says,
That's okay.
I identify as a feminist.
There's also another scene. It's actually a deleted scene. It's in the blooper outtakes gag reel from Deadpool and Wolverine, where Ryan Reynolds, as the character of Nice Pool, says that his future calling is to host a podcast that monetizes the women's movement.
But my calling is to one day host a podcast that monetizes the women's movement.
And Justin Baldoni did have a podcast called Man Enough. It really talked about how to overcome your toxic masculinity. It was very pro-women, pro-feminism type of podcast that he had. And here's where it kind of gets a little interesting is the character of Lady Pool is the one that kills the character of Nice Pool. And again, the character of Lady Pool was played by Blake Lively. And not only did she kill him, but the character of Nice Pool dies in front of a flower shop.
Uzi time, baby.
Look alive! I think I'm hit.
No shit. You did that on purpose.
I did no such thing.
Now, everything on movie sets, every single thing are meticulously planned. And that's why people are saying it's not just coincidence. This was planned.
God, he loved his face. But he died a hero.
He died for murder, you dumb fuck.
And all I have to remember him by are these two gold-plated 50 caliber Desert Eagle pistoleros.
Not only that, but the character of Nicepool, like I said, was played by Ryan Reynolds. But for whatever reason, in the end credits, he was credited as being played by Gordon Reynolds. And then at the end of the movie, It Ends With Us, Blake Lively, when it gets down to a special thanks to, and she thanked all of these people, she thanks Gordon Reynolds, aka Nicepool. Why would you link those two movies together if there wasn't a reason to link them together? So now, with things boiling over, it looks like Justin Baldoni is demanding that Disney and Marvel preserve all documents relating to Ryan Reynolds' Nicepool in Deadpool and Wolverine. It says on January 7th, Baldoni's lawyer Brian Freeman sent a litigation hold letter to Kevin Feige and Bob Iger in connection with his client's anticipated claims against Ryan Reynolds. Variety viewed a copy of that letter, and it calls on the studio to preserve all relevant documents and data with regards to Baldoni. Baldoni's attorney believes that Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, was flagrantly mocking Baldoni in a sequence in Marvel's Deadpool and Wolverine, which was released by Disney in July. The sequence features Reynolds playing Nicepool, and then they reference a couple of sequences here, lines such as, "Where in God's name is the intimacy coordinator?"
My brain could taste your fingers, and they tasted like hate. And where in God's name is the intimacy coordinator?
And we all know that the intimacy coordinator is a huge point of contention between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, as well as a line complimenting Ladypool for snapping back into shape after giving birth. And this is in reference to Justin Baldoni, quote unquote, fat shaming Blake Lively on the set of It Ends With Us. The letter also calls for the studio to retain any and all documents relating to or reflecting a deliberate attempt to mock, harass, ridicule, intimidate, or bully Baldoni through the character of Nicepool. Now, this part was interesting to me because this part references director Tim Miller. Tim Miller directed the very first Deadpool movie. It says the litigation hold letter goes well beyond the Nicepool character and implies that lively Baldoni-style riff exists between Reynolds and Miller. Miller did not return for the sequel, so Deadpool 2 or Deadpool and Wolverine. The director and star are known to have clashed, the star being Ryan Reynolds. The letter instructs the studio to preserve any documents and data relating to complaints made against Ryan Reynolds by any person, including without limitation Tim Miller and Miller's departure from the film Deadpool 2, as well as any instances of Reynolds exerting creative control of any film project. And that part's interesting to me because it looks like they're trying to find like a pattern of behavior, like, hey, Ryan Reynolds is known to do this on movie sets. He is known to clash and take over. So even though Tim Miller has absolutely nothing to do with everything going on between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds does. And they're looking for like a pattern of behavior, like maybe this whole thing was orchestrated by Ryan Reynolds, as he is known to do X, Y, and Z. It is very interesting to me that they are looking at, background things and asking for any and all complaints in order to look for like maybe a pattern of behavior. In this article, it actually goes into how the Nicepool character ended up in the movie, and that's also very interesting to me. The character was developed before the rift between Lively and Baldoni, but sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that scenes involving Nicepool were shot late in the game following the conclusion to the SAG-AFTRA strike. Quote, "It was all added post-strike," who says the scenes were filmed in the final days of principal photography, which wrapped in January of 2024. In other words, the scenes were shot during a high point of contention between Lively and Baldoni. So while the character of Nicepool was developed before all of this drama between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, all of the scenes and all of the lines were shot after the strikes. So the look of the character, the lines, all of that was added after the strikes. So when I say that there's way too many things that go beyond it being a coincidence, there are way too many things. Now, once Ladypool kills Nicepool, what does Deadpool take from him?
These two gold-plated 50 caliber Desert Eagle pistoleros.
And this is just my personal opinion. I do think that those guns represent the rights to It Ends With Us and its sequel. Almost as if we are going to kill Justin Baldoni's career and he's going to be left with no choice but to sell the rights to these movies to us. All of this is insane. I know. When I first heard it, I was like, oh, come on. There is no way that the character of Nice Bull is Justin Baldoni. Maybe that's just coincidental. But you look at all of the similarities and there's just way too many. There's way too many for it to be a coincidence. Now, what's interesting is up until Deadpool and Wolverine, Marvel was really suffering. So they were really betting a lot on the success of Deadpool and Wolverine to kind of breathe some fresh air into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Up until then, it was incredibly deflated. They had flop after flop at the box office, and as well as all of the shows. The shows in 2024, people were really making fun of them. They really needed a win, and Deadpool and Wolverine was a huge win for Marvel, and people were hoping that this movie could be the start of something special. Now, while I do not think that this lawsuit or, any subsequent lawsuits are going to have an effect on the MCU, it certainly does kind of put a stain on Ryan Reynolds as well as the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, knowing that an actor of his caliber would be so petty as to make fun of this director, as well as make light of a situation that was supposedly a very serious situation at the time. Honestly, if it was as serious as they were making it out to be in Blake Lively's lawsuit, why on earth would you use that pain and suffering that your wife was supposedly having as the butt of a joke? I don't know. It's all very fascinating and very interesting to me. Let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. That's it for me. I'm gonna get going. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, everyone.